Hoop color, you can also change it here. There's always at least 2 ways to do everything in MBird. You can change the hoop grid density. You can change the selection color. My selection color is red. So if I select something, it turns red. Okay, you can join consecutive colors, select whether to measure millimeters first or inches first. Stitch density. Here you could adjust the stitch density when resizing, keep the original fill pattern, calculate it automatically to be at a specified stitch count. Here you can change the fill stitches and the column stitch density manually. 4 is the default, a smaller number, denser design. Specify stitch length for outlines and underlays. Again, 4 is the default. You can set the recognition sensitivity if you're allowing the software to do it. Mine's set at optimum. Alright, let's select it again, back up to options. Animate changes. Here you can change long running stitches to floating stitches. Alright, let's go over to the left side. Like I said, these are all the same. This is your select tool. Select the whole object. This, now remember, down at the bottom, down here, it'll tell you exactly what that icon is. Move, add, or remove needle points. You got to do this in normal view. Alright, let's move some stuff around. Zoom in, left click and hold, and draw a box around the area you want to edit. Zoom in some more, and now you can see little squares at the bottom of each stitch. You left click and hold and move those little boxes wherever you want. Let's move this one way out here so you can see what happens. Switch back to that 3D view, and now you can see what I did to that stitch. Okay. Here you can select stitches within an object. So let's scroll down a little. Left click, hold, click, 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 double click. Everything within that square has now turned red, my selection color. Right click, select split join, split. That area is now totally separate and you can do anything you want with it. Move it all over the place. Of course, you really don't want that, not right now. So we've gone back to normal. F9 is rotate. Gives you one little box up here, and you can see your icon is a swirl. Grab that box, left click and hold, and you can rotate it freely any direction you want. Undo it. If you right click on there on the design, you also have the choice of rotate, but a much broader choice. Free rotate, which is what we just did. Rotate left, click on it again, go down to rotate, rotate right, rotate to fit the selected hoop. all kinds of things. Again, you've got the skew, the set, guidelines, split, join, colors, everything that you had up here in options. Again, two places to do things. Let's put my design back the way it should be. Magnifying glass. Yeah. Left click, you get that. Right click, you get that. This selects all objects. Okay. Let's get rid of the magnifying glass. Select all objects. That's the same thing as doing that. Unselect it. Go here. They're all selected again. This one sets the size of the selected area. This one sets the position. If you know your X's and Y's and geometry and algebra and stuff, you can do it this way. Otherwise, you can just grab it and move it, which is easier for me. Okay. Here you can mirror selected objects. Same thing we had up here. This would be mirrored on the horizontal. This would be mirroring it vertically. This would rotate left. This would rotate right. Centers this design in the very middle, both axes. There. This would center it just on the horizontal axis. This on the vertical. Align selected objects. Move the mouse pointer to a specified stitch. Sew simulator, which we already saw. 3D, actual size, you don't want to look at that. And this will be showing the fabric. Now, if you look here, it's a matte gray. If I click it, it kind of gets bumpy so it looks like fabric. Ha ha. Just remember, for almost every single function in Embird, whether it's manager, editor, studio, what have you, there's at least 2 ways to do it. Sometimes you have to go up here and open that, cancel. Do it up here. Sometimes you have to do it down here. It all depends on which method is easier for you. Now let's just select the eagle. Oops, looks like I've screwed something up. Let's get rid of that. Alright. Just the eagle is selected. Alright. Okay, just select the eagle. Obviously, something I changed here is still sticking around. So let's move that back up like that. Alright, scroll back out. That way you can see all my mistakes. Now, in 3D mode or normal mode, doesn't matter. I've only got the eagle selected, and now all of these are available to me. This says first stitch, and this is where you want to go to. So this would be the start, this would be the finish. If I click here, I go up by single stitch. Here, I go down by single stitch. Here, up by 50, down by 50. $300. Let's go back. The reason why it's turned red or is selected is because when I played with these, I also changed the stitches here. In other words, I have selected every stitch from the first stitch of the eagle to the last stitch of the eagle. Now, if I go down over here, it unselects it. We're now only stitch 1 through stitch 305. Here, I could split, if I click this, I split the design at that point. And this is what's selected. The underlayment.